Assalamu alaikum. I did part one on Yasir Qadhi's or Qadhi's glorification of Ibn Taymiyyah. And let me explain some point because some of Ibn Taymiyyah's followers flooded the comment section with hateful messages. So one of the widely held perception is that he fought against the Mongols. In reality, this flies in the face of reality. Historical truth is that Ghazan Khans, the Mongols who invaded Syria three times, they were themselves Muslims, and according to prevalent definition of that time, they would more or less fall in the category of Sunni Muslims. Though one of the Mongols also converted to Shia Islam. So this perception that Ibn Taymiyyah was fighting some terrible imagined infidels flies in the face of reality. It was not the same Mongols who wreaked havoc in parts of the Muslim world earlier. Many Mongols had converted to Islam not only in uh, Russia and part of Central Asia and elsewhere, but also in India during the time of Alauddin Khilji, who also killed Mongols despite the fact that some of them had converted to Islam. So that is one point of clarification. Another point is that he never fought. I have not come across any historical evidence that in reality he did fight. He did act as an emissary, engaged in diplomatic activities to some extent. In reality, he sought the mercy and clemency of the Mongols when they invaded and asking them not to, commit atrocities against the residents of Syria, and going to the extent of asking one of the resistance fighters who was also in charge of citadel in Syria to give up his arm or to stop his resistance. However, when the Mongols had already been defeated and when the Mamluk started reprisal attacks, and when they started resorting to vengeance, um, he did at that time try to be a bit brave when they had already been defeated. And again, most of them, it's very important uh, to remember that the Ghazan Khans or the Mongols were Muslims. The governor of Damascus, Saif al-Din, he was also Muslim. He defected to Mongols. Some Christians and Muslim groups also, they also defected to Mongols during those invasion. And then the Mamluks carried out very brutal attacks on these defectors, meting out very inhuman punishment. In some cases, they ripped out tongues of the defectors as the so-called Imam Ibn Taymiyyah turned, looked the other side. He did not raise any objection to these brutal punishment, and he did not say whether under Islamic law such brutal punishment are justified. I did not see any fatwa against these brutal punishment, or I did not see that he wrote that the brutal punishment or inhuman punishments meted out to the defectors, no matter how sworn enemy they are. But could you rip out somebody's tongue, justifying that on religious grounds? So that's one thing. So this is not the first time that Muslim were attacking Muslim. I mean, it happened so many times. Like we had three wars between we have wars between Banu Umayyad and Banu Abbas. Before that, there were fights between Hazrat Ali and Hazrat Amir Mawiyah as well. And it is believed that when Banu Abbas conquered Banu Umayyad, so it is stated, some historian have stated that they cut the members of Banu Umayyah's clan or relatives into pieces, putting a hapri over it and feasting. So this is also there. In the same way, the famous Ottomans, they would kill their own brothers. The term fratricide was popularized by the Ottomans or the Turks, who would kill their own brothers. The same could be said among the Mongols. Aurangzeb killed his brother, putting his father behind a bar or putting him in prison. And the Suris and Lodhis fought, both were Muslim. The Ghaznavids, they fought against Muslims. So this was not a new phenomenon. So to give an impression that Ibn Taymiyyah was fighting some infidel, some critics might argue that he was a servant of the Mamluk and he was serving his masters by, issuing fatwa. And otherwise, the widely had perception that he was fighting the Mongols as if the Mongols, were some infidels attacking Muslim land. That was not the case. That is inaccurate historically. So when these blind followers of Ibn Taymiyyah write in message sections that he was fighting Mongols, so they try to give an impression as if Mongols were some alien creature. Now the question is that why did certain sects of Muslim defect to Mongols during the invasion, and also some non-Muslim? It is because of the fact that Mamluks were persecuting them. They were like turning their life into hell. It is widely believed about Mongols that they were brutal in so many respects. They would carry out brutal siege of different areas. Uh, but it is also asserted by many historians that as far as religion is concerned, they were very tolerant. So during some of the Mongols rulers' time, you could see Ahmed was one of the Muslim who was on the key post. Yusuf was one of the Muslims who was on the key post, maybe looking after their finances. And some of their top advisors were Muslims, either Muslim Christians or from some other sect. So the Mongols would grant equal religious freedom. That's why this might have prompted them to throw their support behind Mongols. But what about like Saif al-Din, who was the governor of Damascus at that time? He defected to Mongols. Later on, he came back to the ranks of the Mamluks. And so it was basically the persecution. That's what many people advise, that in Muslim countries, the non-Muslim subjects or the non-Muslim citizens should be given equal freedoms. If you give equal freedoms to them, if you consider them the sons of soil, there is no reason for them to revolt against existing ruler. But now there are so many Islamists who spit venom against secularism, saying that non-Muslims in a Muslim country should not be given those freedoms or equal freedoms or equal rights, although they in Western countries, Muslims living in Western countries, they enjoy all those freedoms. So Ibn Taymiyyah thoughts are very problematic. When I said fanatic for him, many people objected to him. Now let's listen that what he has been saying, and if Mr. Qadhi follows his beloved mentor, then what would be the implication? For instance, uh, Ibn Taymiyyah elaborates on jihad against unbelievers under the rubrics of the limits of God as punishment outlined above. Following standard of medieval Muslim jurisprudence, he maintains, now Ibn Taymiyyah maintains, that believers outside the control of Islam should be invited to convert, right? It means Yasir Qadhi and other people who are living in Western world should invite the people of those countries, non-Muslims, to Islam, to convert to religion. If they don't, now listen what Ibn Taymiyyah say. If they do not respond, they must be fought in order to end discord and establish religion for God alone. So if they do not respond, it means that if Yasir Qadhi Sahib is living in the United States, he invites non-Muslim there. If they don't respond, then they should be fought according to the logic of Ibn Taymiyyah. This is not my thinking. This is the precious thoughts of Ibn Taymiyyah. They must be fought in order to end discord and establish religion for God alone. And then he goes on to say, Christians, Jews, Zoroastrians are to be fought until they convert to Islam or submit to Islamic rule and agree to pay a poll tax, jizya. This is what he's saying there. Like uh, Christian, Jews, and Zoroastrian are to be fought until they convert to Islam or submit to. So I don't know if Yasir Qadhi Saab would start fighting, Christians, Jews, Zoroastrians living in the United States or in the world. Going beyond the typical medieval doctrine, Ibn Taymiyyah also calls for jihad against those who identify as Muslims but do not adhere to well-known laws of Islam. It means esoteric, Barelvis, Shiite, and other people. Although Ibn Taymiyyah does not mention Mongols, the Mongols in public policy, these are the grounds upon which he justifies fighting them in his anti-Mongols fatwa. So this was one of the researchers who has written that. So he does not want to fight, Ibn Taymiyyah does not want to fight just Muslim, Christians, Zoroastrians, but look what he says about other people. Ibn Taymiyyah deems the Nusaris and other kind of esoteric sects to be apostate and more unbelieving and harmful than Jews, Christians, and many other polytheists. He argues that jihad against them is a higher priority than jihad against Jews and Christians due to the need to protect the integrity of the Muslim community. Ibn Taymiyyah's knowledge of the Nusaris is limited. Now, this is the comment of the thinker, and he conflates their beliefs with those of Ismaili Shia, which are better known at the time. Ultimately, the Mamluk decided to spare the Nusayri for political and economic reason. So, and then some thinkers or some researchers believe that Ibn Taymiyyah's anti-Nusayri polemic inspired Sunni belief that the Nusayris fell outside the fold of Islam, and as a result, the Ottoman Empire did not accord them legal status. So these are the thoughts of Ibn Taymiyyah. Now you could imagine the repercussions or consequences of this ideology. It means that you have to fight everyone. This is not the concept of a pluralistic society. It means you cannot live in a pluralistic society. So when I say that he was an outright fanatic, people do object, but they don't bother to read his writing, which are full of hatred. Many of them are full of hatred against the Shiite, against Christians, Jews, Zoroastrians, unbelievers, even Sunnis, right? Those who do not like Asharite were Sunnis. Ghazali was Sunni, Fakhruddin al-Razi was Sunni, but he has objection with everyone. This is how we define a fanatic who does not want to accept any type of plurality, any type of religious tolerance. So it's very clear that if we read him in a critical way, he would turn out to be an outright fanatic.